Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know.
Subscribe to Master J and turn on that notification bell so you won't miss any of his fired uploads.
So the Huston Rockets are looking to run it back and not rebuild. That what it looks like they're doing. They traded for John Wall. They signed DeMarcus Cousins. They got Christian Woods. Now, are they preparing for another second round disaster? Like previous year against the Warriors and the Lakers. Well, no, this year is different. I mean, the DeMarcus Cousins, we saw him in training camp. He's looking healthy. He's looking scary out there. He's looking like there's that chance that he can return to his regular self. And in this video, we will be talking about breaking it down about the Houston Rockets and why I personally think they are dangerous next year and they are the team to look out for. What is up, guys? It is Master J here. Welcome back to another video to the channel, and today, yes, I'll be, breaking down why I personally think the Houston Rockets are dangerous next season. Well, I don't know if they're gonna, I say they have a very high chance of getting, to the finals and maybe winning a championship, but the Western Conference finals are getting tougher, and, yeah, so I will say why they are dangerous, but there will be some, X factors that will rely on that. And if that doesn't happen, they are screwed. So anyway, let's get to that. But before we do, for the people who aren't subscribed or people who are new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. That's my new goal. And please, there's no reasons not to. I post at least 2 or 3 videos a week, and I'm trying to keep it consistent. And I'm fixing my quality, my editing. So please just smash the like button, put that like, drop that like below, and turn on the notification bell, and let's begin. So we want to start out with the big off-season moves, and with the moves, they traded John Walls. They traded for John Walls, and they traded Russell Westbrook for John Walls in that first round pick, that 2023 first round pick. Well, I mean, that's great. They got the first round pick, but John Wall is the main guy of that trade. And then we got DeMarcus Cousins. He's looking healthy. There's that slight chance that he can return to the all-star self. Then we got Christian Woods, where he said he's confident that he can stand as the second option. Well, now that's not happening. That was before, when we all heard that Russ might be trading. He was hinting that, but John Wall's the second. He can be that great third option, though. But that's if DeMarcus doesn't play healthy, and maybe Gerald Green is that big season move. I mean, like, if you guys are a big fan of Gerald Green and you saw how he benefits their bench, and I see him as, they sign him back. He suffered an injury, but anyway. So their starting lineup will look like this. John Wall at the point guard position. We got James Harden at shooting guard. At 3, Daniel House. Tucker at 4. Christian Wood at 5. Yes, DeMarcus Cousins. According to, many sources and the Rockets, they are most likely gonna, have him as their 6th man. But I think, he will be benched, obviously. But maybe in the later season, he will prove himself and get him to the starting. So they're probably going to, move Christian Woods to the 4 and maybe put Tucker in the bench. Then have DeMarcus. I think he will prove himself that. But for now, this is what it's looking like. The bench, Chris Clemens leading the point guard. Shooting guard, Gerald Green, Eric Gordon, and we got Bruno Canopolo, and it's looking pretty scary so far, but I will show more detail about this. But this will really, their success on the playoff success and regular season really relies a big deal on if John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, 2 players that have injury history, and they weren't. John Wall's hadn't been in the season for 2 years because of injuries. DeMarcus Cousins last year he couldn't play, and so they have to bet that they play like their all-star selves. If they can, the Rockets are looking scary, dangerous. That's the word I'm looking for. So by looking at the stats, John Wall's that guy, if he can increase game like what he said he was, and what in his explosiveness he's showing in the training camp, they are set to go. And same for DeMarcus Cousins. And I'll show Christian Wood stats, if you're curious. But Christian Wood, he's looking like that young star, that young underrated star. He's been doing great, shooting very great from the three. He's showing potential elite defensive talent, and we would love to see what he can do to this Rockets team. But all of that won't matter if one thing isn't fixed. And if that's not fixed, the Rockets are screwed, and that is James Harden. Yes, the NBA's lead scorer, he's been an explosive scorer. We all know that he's a great scorer, and I know he will dominate the regular season. He will always do. But when it comes to important games like the playoffs, he won't dominate as much. Yes, he'll do well, but not dominate as well he did in the regular season, because he's the kind of guy who dominates in the meaningless games like whenever he goes against the New York Knicks, at Madison Square Garden, he always dominates them. There was a one he averaged career high on them, 61 points. The other 49 points he dominated so bad. But when it comes to game like the Lakers, he will only average probably like 20 points. He won't dominate as much. It's like he loves playing New York. So as you can see in his stats, his regular season, 3-time NBA leading scorer. Now you look at his playoff, the last 18, 19, 20 where he was. Where did that win? In the playoffs, he's not showing any sign of that NBA's lead scorer, actually. I do not see that, though, and that is not a good thing. I mean, the Rockets will make the playoffs, of course, and maybe earn their 5th seed, 4th seed, but I think the 5th. But the playoffs, James Harden has to dominate. He has to dominate this game, and also there's this other issue, which is, does James Harden still want out of Houston? I mean, James Harden did, extended a list of teams he wants, open to trade destination, and he hadn't showed up to their training camp. He finally did, of course, but for the, first few days he didn't show up. John Walls wanted him to show up, but, guess where he was while they were supposed to go training? Well, yes, Harden was out there partying, and then he got the COVID-19. That is not good, so he will be missing major practice. But anyway, he basically extended 4 teams already. Heat, Philadelphia, Brooklyn. He recently put on the Bucks, so that's a good thing for Giannis. Now, that is not a good thing for Rockets fans to hear. If for the Rockets fans who is listening to the videos, I know this is supposed to be a happy video, but they're still looking dangerous. I'm just saying, the X factors. If the James Harden doesn't perform well, the Rockets aren't looking dangerous at all. But they are. That's why I'm saying. I mean, James Harden. I wouldn't really, count on. But if John Wall steps up his game, and same as DeMarcus, they are looking good. Like I said, they are getting 4th, 5th seed, but I expect them to exceed my expectation, maybe get to the 3rd seed. I wouldn't see this 1st or 2nd, because Lakers, Clippers, maybe the Warriors at 3rd seed. I mean, as much I love the Warriors, I gotta be real. They're probably gonna get the 5th or 6th seed, but I hope that they get at least the 5th seed. If you guys are still here while the music's being cued, please check out these 2 videos. I know you guys will like it. And also, please subscribe. It will really help a lot. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. You back up again. The things you'll try. And things that you won't regret. We are kings of the world. And tonight, it's a baby girl. We are kings of the world.
and anywhere we go.